What's up, gang? Kawaii50 here with another FGO video here to talk with you about the Interlude campaign part 9. Yes, there's a brand new Interlude campaign, which I'm sure you saw from the in-game news, and a bunch of servants are getting brand new buffs. But we need to ask ourselves, because this is the spirit of competition in these games, which servant got the best buff, and which servant unfortunately got a little bit shafted? Well, let's go through all the buffs very quickly, and I will have at least my answer for you. And if this video helps you out, be sure to go ahead, like and subscribe, and let me know who you were most excited for to see get a buff down in the comments below. Let's start with Arthur Pendragon Prototype, whose Instinct got updated to Dazzling Journey Rank EX. Very necessary if you ask me, with Instinct being one of the worst skills in the entire game. Dazzling Journey Rank EX still grants the critical stars 10 to 30 one time, but also gives Arthur a 3-turn critical damage boost, 30 to 50% depending on the level you've invested in this skill. Osakabahime got a buff to her Morph skill, giving it a little more utility than just a pure defensive boost on her. Morph now has an additional effect, increasing the party's critical damage by 30 to 50% for 3 turns, with Osakabahime being a good pick for a quick or buster support. This is a very welcome addition to her kit. Heroin X Alter received a buff to her Black Bean Paste skill, changing it to Infinite Chestnut Paste. Now, this skill is a little bit weird in the buff that it got. Yes, it did technically get a healing boost, but not in the particular amount healed. Now she gets an HP recovery stacked on it, recovering 1000 HP every turn for 3 turns. And before you ask, yes, this is affected by the increased healing rate she has on her. But it also got an offensive boost for Heroin X Alter, increasing the critical damage of her quick, arts, and buster cards by 20 to 30% for 3 turns. Unfortunately, these boosts are only in effect for a single attack, so you really got to make sure that one attack counts. Ryko's Eternal Arms Mastery got a buff for some reason, turning into Genji Clan Martial Arts Discipline Rank EX. The bonus added onto this is that Ryko now gets a crit damage boost when she absorbs all those critical stars, and that is a 40 to 60% boost for 3 turns that only lasts for 3 attacks. So again, much like with X Alter's ability, you've really got to make sure those attacks count. Still, a 40 to 60% boost is pretty massive, all things considered. And finally, let's not forget about Wooze Shan, who received a buff to her Noble Phantasm. The damage of this Noble Phantasm has increased, going from 1200 to 2000% to 1600 to 2400% damage. This Noble Phantasm also now has the ability to remove the enemy's buffs. However, this does not activate before damage is dealt. So you've really got to consider that if you're trying to remove, say, an invincibility or an evade off of your opponent. Overall, a pretty solid damage boost for our budget Scotty. So, we've got the stats, we've got the boosts. The question is, who ended up making out the best out of this Interlude campaign? And personally, gang, I've got to say, it's Osakabahime. Osakabahime's buff may seem small and increase to the party's overall critical damage, but considering she is a support, you're going to be running her with some of the most powerful quick type servants and some of the most powerful buster type and especially buster crit servants as well. You can go ahead stack on some Scotty buffs, which does increase your character's quick critical damage, and then chuck on another boost from Osakabahime just for good measure. You're going to be seeing some incredible crit damage boosts out of your Osakabahime, and I think the slew of buffs that she has received is not only powerful, but also well-deserved. They've really taken this character, who they fumbled on with their release, and have elevated her to a solid choice for support. But with every winner, there, of course, comes a loser, and my pick for that has to be Heroin X Alter. Now, before you start hitting your keyboard angrily, this doesn't mean I think Heroin X Alter was bad. No, she was good even before this buff. Just in terms of what this buff adds to her kit, I really don't think it's all that impressive. The critical damage boost is nice, but it's not nearly as sizable as the boosts we see to other servants, such as Arthur Prototype, Osakabahime, which he provides to the party, and Minamoto no Ryko. Also, the critical damage boost on each of her cards only lasts for 1 attack. Ryko's lasts for 3 attacks, but it affects any card, so that immediately is a better boost. The HP recovery might seem like a very, very good buff, but remember that Berserkers are made of paper. If she ends up surviving a barrage of attacks, this is great. However, the likelihood of Heroin X Alter surviving those attacks is going to be low due to how the way class advantage works. So, she's still good, no worries. Just as far as this buff goes, really wasn't anything for her. But I want to know what you all think, so let me know your thoughts about what we received with this Interlude campaign down in the comment section below. Let me know who you think got the best and who got the worst buff when it comes to considering everybody involved here. And do not forget to do your interludes during the half AP interludes event we've got going on right now, because remember, that is more Saint Quartz for you. And if you remember my Yuga Kshetra banner video, Arjuna Alter, Asclepius, and Ashwatthama are coming. You're gonna want the quartz for that. If you want to talk more FGO, my Discord channel is always open. Big thanks to all of the patrons on Patreon and all of the subscribers on Twitch for their continued support helping to make this possible. And, you know, maybe come watch me on Twitch. We're playing some FGO over there. We're playing some Final Fantasy XIV over there. It's overall been a very, very good time. I hope you're all having a phenomenal day, and I'll see you all in the next video.